Hey travelers, I'm Greg and I'm currently on the Faroe Islands. I would like to share with you some experience we had with the strike that is going on these islands. A lot of workers are not working anymore, and this will impact travelers as well as residents here on the islands. So if you plan to come here to visit in the upcoming days or weeks, there's a few things that you have to know. The first one is that now on the islands some things are running out of stock, and it's going to be more and more difficult to find gasoline for the general public and for the travelers as well. So what I can tell you is that if you plan to visit with a rental car, you have to ensure with the rental company that you will get a full tank when you arrive and you get your car, because it's mostly impossible now to find a station with gasoline in stock to refill the car. And if you stay, for example, 1 week to visit here, it's mostly possible to visit a lot of things with one tank of a rental car. If you plan to stay longer, I think you will have to reschedule your plans, because if it's not possible to refill, you will run out of gasoline, and then it will be mostly impossible to refill. We were able to refill our car a few days ago, and now we have something like 600 kilometers left to finish our trip, so this will be fine, but most probably we will not be able to refill the car before returning it at the airport. And so I don't know if the next customers will have the full tank, because the rental company is able to find gasoline somewhere, or if not. And if so, you will have to check with the rental company if you come in a few days or week, because it's impossible to refill. Also, public transportations are impacted, and mostly buses. So if you plan to visit things by buses, for example, to take a boat to an island and then travel with buses, it will be most likely cancelled. You can find on the ssl.info the cancellation of the major lines on the islands here. Ferries are running fine until now, and from what I heard from the tourist information and from the locals, ferries will get privileged access to the fuel, diesel and gasoline resources. So they are going to run for a long time from now, so it's not a big concern. We are still able to travel from island to islands, and of course tunnels and bridges are still available to roam between the islands. One other thing that you have to keep in mind is that in the restaurants and in the supermarket, it's now becoming more and more difficult to find fruits and vegetables in the supermarket, and some dishes are going out of the restaurant menus, because of course I think they are on shortage as well. But it's still possible to find food. You will maybe have to go to 1, 2 or 3 supermarkets to find everything you need, because some are running out of stock of this, some of those, but mainly it's possible. We found pasta, we found rice and bread and so on. So if you want to cook by yourself, it's still possible to find cans and pasta and things you will cook and keep for the long run. In the restaurants, you will most likely find restaurants that will serve you food here, so it's not a major concern. You will not die of hunger if you come here to the Faroe Islands. But of course, some items are going out of stock of the supermarkets. First responders, pharmacies, hospitals are running as normal, so they are not impacted. I went on a pharmacy today, and there were no shortage of any kind there, so at this point. Now we are on May 23rd. From what we heard, the strike can go on for 1 month or even longer. So it can become really worse here on the islands. If you plan to come here in the upcoming days or weeks, I strongly recommend you to be careful in the information you gather before landing here in the Faroes. And the most interesting question you might ask is if the car rental you will get is with a full tank, because otherwise it will be quite useless. And I will try to answer, if you have questions in the comments of this video, I will try to answer them as soon as I can and the best I can. I'm not a resident of the Faroe Islands, I'm just a traveler here. I just can testimony of what I live here based on the information I have, but I don't speak the local language. I don't speak Danish, so I can only inform myself in English here on the Faroe Islands.